my channel. I hope you're all doing well. Today I am doing a tutorial on how to make this Valentine's Day rose. So you will need some red and green yarn. I use the Jelly Baby chenille yarn, but you can use whichever yarn you like. Then I use this 6mm crochet hook with the Jelly Baby yarn, but obviously use the hook that's suitable to the yarn that you're using. Some scissors, a stitch marker, a needle and a needle threader, some glue and some floral wire for the stems. I just got this from Amazon. So first of all, we're going to make the petals. So we're going to make 4 big ones and 2 small ones. So with your red yarn, first of all, make a magic ring. You can either do this method or you can do the chain method to make your magic ring, whichever you'd prefer. So once we've got the magic ring, we're going to do 6 single crochet into the magic ring. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, and then pull it tight to close. There we go. Then for round 2 we're going to do 6 increases. So into the first one, so you've got single crochet and then back into that same stitch to do your increase. And then onto the next one. Single crochet. Increase. And then keep going round. At this point, I then like to add my stitch marker. So then for round 3, we are doing a single crochet and an increase times 6. So we've got single crochet, and then our increase. Single crochet, increase, and then for round 4 we're doing 2 single crochet and an increase times 6. So we've got 1, 2, and then an increase. And then round 5, we are doing 8 single crochet. So go around for 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then we are just doing 8 increases. So the next stitch along, single crochet and then add an increase. That's number 1. Next stitch along, increase number 2. Next stitch along, increase number 3, next stitch along, increase number 4, and then increase number 5, number 6, number 7, and number 8, and then you're just doing 8 more single crochet to finish off the row. And then just pull the tail through, and you want to cut, leave quite a long tail, cut it, and then pull it through, take your stitch marker out, and there you have your first petal. So as you can see, it's sort of in like a little bit of an oval shape. And you want to make 3 more of these so that you've got 4 large petals. Now we're going to do our 2 small petals. So very similar to the big ones. You're going to start with your magic ring. There we go. But this time you're just going to do 4 single crochet into the magic ring. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and pull tight to close. Then for round 2, we are just doing 4 increases. I've got 1 into the same stitch, increase, then add your stitch marker. Then round 3, we are just doing single crochet increase times 4. Single crochet, increase, then the next round we are doing 2 single crochet and increase times 4. So we've got 1, 2, increase, so then in the next round we are going to do 5 single crochet. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you're going to do 6 increases. So in, and then the same one for your increase, so that's number 1. This is number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, and number 6. And then just finish the round with 5 more single crochet. And then just pull the thread through, leave a nice long tail. Take the stitch marker out, pull it all the way through, and there you have your little petal. So you want to do 2 of these little petals. So now at this point you should have 4 big petals and 2 little ones. So we're now going to go on to make the green bit that goes at the bottom of the flower. So now with your green yarn, you're going to make a magic ring. And you're going to do 5 single crochets into the magic ring. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then pull it tight to close. So to start with, just do a slip stitch to close up that magic ring. Then, so this is going to be sort of like a star shape. So we're going to chain out for 3. So you've got 1, 2, 3. Then in that second chain down, you're going to just go in and do a single crochet. So single crochet in there. And then 1 below it, so in the first chain, you're going to do an increase. So do your single crochet, and then back into that same hole again. And then we're just going to find the next stitch along and slip stitch into that next stitch. There we go. And as you can see, we've then got our first point of our flower. And then you're just going to repeat that 4 more times. So you're chaining for 3. 1, 2, 3. Single crochet into the second chain. Then you want to do an increase into the first chain. And then slip stitch into the next stitch along. So there we have our second point. So do that 3 more times. And then after your final slip stitch, pull it through, cut it, pull it through all the way. And there we go. It should look kind of like a little green star. Now we're going to start assembling the rose. So first of all, take your petals and cut off the tails from the inside, because otherwise we're going to have too many tails everywhere. So you just want to leave 1 long tail on the bottom, and these ones can be shorter on the inside. So do that with all of your petals. Then you want to get your 2 small petals and thread your needle with one of the long tails. And then you want to sort of cup them, so making sure that the nice bit is on the outside. Just sort of put one kind of inside the other, like that. And then just take that end and just sew those edges together. So just a few. Stitches along that edge. You don't have to go all the way up. Just a few stitches along, and then you can go all the way through to the other side. And a few stitches along this side as well. There you go. Just as much as you want, like as secure as you want it to be, really. And then once you get to the bottom, you can then just tie these two tails together to secure it. There we go. And then just leave them tails for now because it's useful to have a bit more if we need more to sew later. So that's the very inside. And then with the 4 outside pieces, we're going to do the same thing and basically just gradually, as you can see, just gradually build up that flower like that. And it will create a nice rose. So take your first piece and thread it. Then, making sure the nice bit's on the outside, just put it around the inner bit, wherever you want it to go. Making sure the bottoms pretty much line up. And then just sew on bits of the edges. Then you can take it all the way through to the other side. A few this side. All the way down to the bottom. There we go. So then that petal's on. Same thing with your next petal. So you're going, so always making sure the one that you're putting on is on the outside. Making sure they're overlapping nicely. And then same thing, just sew around the edges. And there we go. And then once you start to get the hang of it then, how it's like building up. Add your third one. Keep on going around the outside. There we go, looking lovely. And then get your last petal. And we're going to put that last one on. There we go. There we have our lovely petals. So obviously you can see, because this is quite thick yarn, it doesn't need many petals at all. If you're using thinner thinner yarn, you may need to do more petals, like 3 layers of petals maybe. But yeah, and if you want to do more petals or less petals, you can do, but yeah, this works very nicely as a nice rose. So this is the flower part complete. So then with the bottom bit of the rose, you want to sort of tie any ends that you want to sort of tie up, just, you know, to make sure it's all secure. You can tie them and then you want to cut them quite short. So yeah, get rid of as much excess as you can. And then you're gonna get your green flower bit and making sure that the nice side is facing upwards. So just put the flower on the bottom like that, and then with the tail of the flower, well, first of all, so this first one you can sort of use to hold it in place, so sort of just go through it and then go straight through the rose. Pull it out, and that sort of holds it in place. You can check that it looks like it's in the right sort of place and is hiding all of those knots and things. And then with the longer tail, thread the longer tail, and then you're just going to sew it on. So sort of like to go sort of under, onto the red bit, making sure you're getting it on the red bit. And then I like to go sort of through each of the petal bits. There we go, so kind of in the gap. And then through the petal. And that should then keep all of those knots in the centre bit of it. Go. And just move it round, adapt it how you want it. Okay, and then once you're done, you can just thread this end bit back through the rose, all the way through. So it should look like that, and then we can just cut these bits within the rose. 1, 2, there we go. So there we have our nice rose and the bottom bit. And then lastly for the stem, so you want to get your floral wire. So this wire I've got is quite thin, so I've actually put a few bits together. And then what you want to do is on the end of it, put a little bit of glue on the very end, and then this bit we're just going to poke that into the rose, so it actually will then glue into the rose to start with. There we go. And then you can also maybe put a little bit more glue around that join to try and make sure that that stays in the actual rose. All that's left to do then is to just get your green yarn, and you can stick the start of it to that glue. Might have to wait a minute for that to just dry, because then with the green yarn we're simply just going to wrap it around the stem. If you do have multiple strands, just sort of twist the ends to hold them together. We're just gonna wrap it around. So this does take a bit of time. Once you reach the end, I just sort of fold the top bit over and sort of twist it into it a little bit. And then you can cut the green yarn, but then you'll want to glue the end of it so that it doesn't come undone. Just put a nice bit of glue on it. There you go. And then just leave that to dry. And then this is the finished rose. So it's really, really pretty. You can obviously add like leaves and things if you want to. But yeah, this is just your basic Valentine's rose. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you very soon for another video.